Hey, it's Leisha with 413 Design LLC, and today we are going to make this fall wreath. It is cheetah and pumpkin and everything fabulous. It's beautiful. You can see all the details once you get closer. Okay, we are ready to get started on that beautiful wreath that you saw there in the intro. So let me show you what all you'll need. So you're going to need a rotary cutting mat and your rotary cutting tool. I know some people use like a wood burner or scissors, but there's nothing better than a really sharp rotary tool. You're gonna need some wire snips. You can also use scissors. These just work a lot better to cut something that I'll show you in a minute. You're gonna need a wreath form. Now, I kind of wish that I had a work wreath form just because I like those, but you know what? We can do this and it'll be just fine. I'm just using a 14-inch form. Got this from Dollar Tree. Okay, and then you're gonna need your mesh. So I'm using two different kinds. These are both like the natural color that has the jute going through it. You see that? And then I'm gonna use this one. This is just kind of one that I have left over. And then there's this one. I got this from Craft Outlet. I love that. Look at that gorgeous cheetah print. Now I have two of these. I could use two of this roll, but I think I'm gonna use this kind of as the base and then put this on top of it just to kind of, you know, make it spread a little bit more. We'll see. If I may end up going back and changing it, but I doubt it. We'll probably just use these two. Then whatever ribbon that you want. So I have this gorgeous ribbon here that has the cheetah print pumpkins, the teal and whatnot. And then I tried to find a white with polka dot ribbon and I just didn't see any. I saw white with polka dot, white with orange polka dot. I found orange with white, but it just wasn't the right orange. So I think I'm just gonna go with this checkered plaid print here. It's the right deep orange and it's really pretty. So I think that'll go great. You're gonna need your sign. Again, I got this from Craft Outlet. It's a little bit different than signs I've got from there before, but it will work great. And I think it's beautiful, perfect for fall. And then I found these, you guys, these velvet pumpkins are very on trend this year. And they had cheetah ones. I got these at Hobby Lobby. And then these as well, just these kind of cream off-white. And then you'll need pipe cleaners. So the first thing I like to do is just get everything prepped. So we are going to cut our mesh to the size that we want. I think I'm probably gonna cut mine to, probably about 30 inches. I'm gonna get all these pumpkins cut off here. We're gonna cut our ribbon. I'm gonna cut my ribbon to about 13 inches, maybe 13 and a half. And then we'll go from there. I love to get that prep work done early because then once I get going, we can just knock that wreath out and make it awesome. So yeah, so let's get started. The other thing too, if you're making this style you can do with any kind of wreath, any, you know, decorative whatever. It doesn't have to be just a fall. You can also switch out the ribbon, the pumpkins, just anything. You make it personal to you. So let's get our prep work going. Okay, so now that we have all of our mesh cut, we are going to cut our ribbon. So remember, we're doing all of our prep work first, then we'll assemble our wreath. So I have chosen these two ribbons. Sometimes I'll work with 3 ribbons, but I just didn't find any that I thought was great to go with this. Like, look how gorgeous this is. I'm a huge, huge, huge cheetah fan. Cheetah's not a color, but it is. So cheetah is my favorite color. I own so much stuff. So I absolutely love this. And then I just went with this one to go with it. So we're gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut them at, I guess 13 and a half inches. and then we will dovetail them. So we're gonna get started on that. I got myself some hot apple cider, get in the fall mood. It's pretty good. I am in Indiana, and our weather is very wishy-washy. So it's actually pretty warm out. It's been like in the 80s the past couple of days, even though we are almost mid-September. So, you know, maybe we'll get some fall weather soon. We have had a couple mornings where it was like in the 60s in the morning. That was pretty nice. I will say I did enjoy that. I just recently got a new car, and it has the little butt warmers. Side note, I'm actually gonna cut these at 14 inches. That way it gives us a little bit of wiggle room when we dovetail the ends. But anyway, my new car has the butt warmers or seat warmers. So it has been pretty nice, you know, these cool mornings to get in the car and like crack my windows so that I can still have that brisk air, but then also like turn the butt warmers on. It's probably TMI, but you know, it's okay. We're all friends here. Okay, so I am going to finish cutting these. I don't know that I have enough of this one, so we're just gonna hope that I have some in my stash, because if you're like me, you have like 75 rolls of ribbon. And also, so I guess in this case it works out. Be on the lookout for this. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like two have been glued together or taped together, which is kind of frustrating. Luckily, it falls at a point where I'll be able to cut it off. It won't affect this next cut, so I'm not really going to be wasting much ribbon. Still frustrating nonetheless. Okay, so see, we'll just cut this off. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. No harm, no foul. All right, so we're gonna finish cutting these and then we will dovetail them. We'll be right back. Okay, so I ran out of the buffalo check plaid, whatever it's called. I thought I had more. I checked my stash and I didn't find any, which means that as soon as I finish this wreath, I will find it, because, you know, that's how it goes. So I had this one here, and although I like it and the color is right, it just, I don't know. I just felt like it was too much with this. So even though these have pumpkins also, and it's a little bit smaller, I feel like that goes a little bit better with it. It doesn't overpower where I feel the other one overpowers this. And clearly this is the star of the show. So we're gonna go with this. We'll just alternate between these two and these two. And because I'm not doing this on a work wreath form, a pre-made form, I'm not sure yet how many bundles I'm gonna put ribbon on. You know, I'm kind of a figure it out as I go type person. So I'll cut extra, and it's okay. I always keep my extras in the little remnants or whatever they're called. So yeah, so we'll have extra. So let's finish cutting these and then we will dovetail them. All right, all of our ribbon is cut. So now it's time for us to dovetail it. Now here's the thing, and you'll probably hear me say this several times. You can make this, and you should make this your very own, the way that you want it. So if you are not a fan of the dovetail, then don't do it. You can cut it at an angle. I guess you could leave it squared off if you want. You don't have to dovetail it. That is my personal preference, okay? So by dovetail, it's just that V shape thing, okay? So I'm gonna show you how I did that. Okay, so when you have your ribbon with the pattern facing up, you wanna fold it in half. Okay, so now you've got both of your your edges on one side, okay? And then you're just going to cut from the bottom up at an angle. Let's see here if you can see that. See? Ta-da! Okay? Now, sometimes I will do like 2 or 3 bundles of my ribbons together. That is perfectly fine, just sometimes you don't have quite as much control, and so it gets a little bit sloppy. I want to see here, just because I have extra ribbon to spare. I saw somebody one time, they did like this, I think it was. All right, guys, we're gonna experiment all together. Let's see how this works. So I think they folded it in half, so now you have all of your edges together. So we fold it in half and then in half again, and then they did their diagonal cut. Let's see. All right, we're gonna see all together if this worked. Holy macaroni, look at that. Mind blown. I saw someone do it. I have been too afraid to try that, and apparently it works. So fold in half. And if you hear noise in the background, I'm so sorry. My husband is woodworking in the garage. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's making me a craft cabinet so that my 5 million rolls of ribbon and mesh and signs and everything else that I have, grapevine forms and regular forms, can all have a place to live. So I can't wait. Definitely once that's done, I will probably do like an organize my craft room with me type video. So, okay, I am going to stop talking and get the rest of these cut, and then we are about ready to start assembling, almost. All right, now that we have all of our ribbon cut, I want to take care of these pumpkins. Now, I think there's like 10 or 12 on each, 10, looks like 10. I'm not gonna use 20 pumpkins. These are gonna be more of an accent, but I'm not quite sure yet how many I'm gonna use and if I'm gonna keep them on the little wire thing that they're on, or if I'm gonna take them off and just like glue the pumpkin on. I'm not sure. So for now, oh, well, there you go. You can just cut them, rip them off. I was gonna use my little snippy things, but it looks like I can just pull these right off. Just kidding, I spoke too soon. So for now, I'm just gonna leave these on here. More than likely, I'm gonna end up cutting off this stem and gluing them on, but we'll see. Again, I just kind of figure it out as I go, see what looks best. And again, that's what I encourage you to do. And that's the fun thing about making wreaths, or any craft or anything like that. You know, you definitely can just make it your own. Do what you like, what your clientele likes, you know, everything can be different. In fact, I bought enough of these materials to make 2 of these because I feel like one is probably gonna sell and one is probably gonna make its way to my front door. And they probably will both be different, even though they're the same, if that makes sense. So definitely once I finish both of them, I will put them on my Instagram, which you can find. It's all spelled out, at 413 Design LLC. And I will definitely link that down below. All right, so I just cut 5 of each. I don't know if I'm going to use 5 of each, but you know, that way I'm glad I'm going. But aren't they so cute? And they're pretty firm. I'm assuming that's probably some sort of like foam or something in there. And then they have like a velvety cover over them. And I will tell you, so I got these from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree has big ones. My daughter and I, we got several colors to decorate our house. Okay, and then these are your cheetah print ones. All right, so the moment that we have been waiting for is we are ready to start assembling our bundles. I like to assemble them first, unless I have a work wreath, and then just put them right on the wreath frame. So let's do that. Okay, so the one last thing that I forgot that we need to do before we start assembling is getting our pipe cleaners together. Now, if you're using a work wreath form frame, obviously it has them on already. I am not, we're just using our basic 14-inch from Dollar Tree, so we're gonna need to cut our own. Now, some people work with them whole, and that's perfectly fine. I always wanna make my money stretch as much as I can. That way I can also, you know, put that savings off to my clients as well, my customers. So, and there's no need to use more than what you need. So I always just cut mine in half. Now, you can color coordinate them and use all brown, black, you know, whatever color mesh you're working with. Realistically, you're not gonna see the pipe cleaners if you do it right. So it doesn't matter what color you choose. But I just went ahead and chose fall colors. So I've got greens, tans, and cream color. And you're just gonna wanna cut these in half. Now you can use scissors, you can use your snip things, but we're gonna use scissors because I moved my snips and I don't know where they are. So you're just gonna wanna cut these in half. I just eyeball it. It does not have to be perfect by any means. Ta-da! And now we're ready. Okay, so for this particular fall wreath, we are going to do my favorite style, which is the Woodland Ruffle. Some people also call it the cruffle because you are doing a curl and a ruffle together, which is why we went ahead and cut our mesh at 30 inches. That way it'll be nice and full. It'll be like a fanfare on the end, or I guess really in the center, but like curl on the end. And I really want this edge to be the star. So she will be. Now, you don't have to use anything extra to do this, but I like to use either a, you know, like a wooden clip or a chip clip. It just helps hold the mesh while you are putting it all together. So I'm gonna show you a couple and then we will zoom through. Now, since I am assembling this prior to, I'm doing my bundles before putting them on the form, I'm gonna go ahead and add my ribbon now at this point to some of them. Now, you know, we did the cheetah print and then just a regular. I'm only gonna put the ribbon on the ones that have the cheetah print because the other one I'm gonna use more as a base. So we are gonna just assemble with the ribbon now. Now, if I was doing a work wreath frame, whatever you wanna call it, I would do all my mesh and then go back in and open it up and add the ribbon. But we're gonna do it this way now. So I'm gonna get one of my little ribbon bundles together. I'll show you how we do that. Okay, here we go. So to do this, just for now, I'm gonna put this here to hold it down. So you're gonna first do your curl. You're gonna do about 1, 2, 3. Okay, and sometimes I'll go in and kind of loosen it up. You're gonna clip it. Again, that part is optional. It just makes your life a lot easier because we're gonna turn this around. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing on this side. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So we have our 2 curls on the ends. Now we're gonna do our ruffle. So you're just gonna grab here in the center and you're gonna bunch it up like that until you meet the other side. Then you can pull your little clip off. Now you have this gorgeous Woodland Ruffle, okay? So you've got, it's curled on the ends, you've got the ruffle, okay? And our cheetah is the star. It's beautiful. So now at this point, because of the way that I'm doing it, we're gonna also go ahead and just add our ribbons right on in. So sometimes I'll just fold it in half, okay? And here, just so that I can show this better, I'm gonna go ahead and clip this here. set that aside. Okay, so I fold them in half. Then I'll grab here in the center and just kind of bunch it together. Okay. Now, once we get them all put on the wreath, obviously we'll have to work with them again, manipulate them a little bit, but it kind of gives us a starting shape, okay? And then here in the center where you have it bunched, you're gonna gather it here to where you have this bunched. And then we are going to just put one of our little half pipe cleaners around it, okay? Make sure you pull tight. We want everything tight. We do not want anything falling off of our wreaths. We don't want our bundles coming apart. I give it several really good twists there at the bottom. Okay, and then we still have plenty of pipe cleaner left at the bottom that we'll be able to twist onto our wreath form. Okay, now I'm just opening this, but obviously once it's on the wreath, then we'll be able to really put it the way we want. But look how pretty that is. That is absolutely gorgeous. Love it. All right, so let's zoom through, get the rest of these made, and then we'll be ready to start putting it on the wreath. Okay, so I got all of my bundles made. Remember our cute little bundles here. So now we're gonna work on the base. I'm gonna do the same exact thing on this plain mesh here. And then we'll alternate it, the directions. That way we have a really nice full frame. I know that that sounds weird and may not make much sense yet, but it will. So this mesh is super thick. Again, this is just some that I had left over. You know, if you have mesh left over, it's okay to just hang on to it, you know, unless you only have enough for like, you know, one bundle or something. But, you know, if I have a half a roll or whatever, I like to save it because you just never know when you can use it. So here we go. So this one, remember, we're not going to put any ribbon on it because this is going to be our base. And we're gonna layer them. So these I'm probably gonna put on the wreath form like this way around, okay? And then when I put these on, like next to it, I'm gonna put it this way. So here, if you see, when I lay it like this, we've got this bundle that's going this way, but this one going this way. That way our curls and our ruffles and everything are gonna be going every which way. It's gonna be nice and beautiful and full. So go ahead and make these. I'm not sure yet how many I'm gonna use. So I think that my wreath form has 6 sections. I think I'm gonna put 2 of these in each section, and then we will fill in with our bundles here, and we'll probably do more bundles that even just don't have ribbon on them. But so we're gonna make all of these and then join me back. So before I decided how to lay out the entire wreath, I figured I wanted to play around with this first section and see what order I wanted to do the different bundles in, which rows I wanted to put them on. And so I finally figured out how I wanted to lay it out and what was going to work best. Okay, so now I have kind of figured out how I want to do this. You know, a lot of things are trial and error. So I think I've got it the way that I want. So this is just one section. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it will. So what I ended up doing was putting my bundles side by side, okay, instead of how I had said earlier. Okay, so when I take my bundles here, I put the ruffles together. That way it's nice and full, the ruffles are out, and then I also alternated so that we've got full coverage everywhere. So I did one on the top 2 bars, the 2 on the center bars, and then 1 on the bottom 2 bars, okay? And when I go around, I will just alternate that with the same pattern. I also did cheetah print, plain, cheetah print, plain. I'm gonna also keep that going around while also alternating my ribbons. Okay, so you see I did the checkered ribbon, plain, cheetah print with the pumpkin ribbon, plain. So now we're gonna go in cheetah print with the checkered ribbon, okay, because we're just starting our pattern all the way over. The one with that is where we use the top 2 bars, so we're gonna do the same thing here. So you're gonna turn your bundles sideways so that your curls butt up against your other ones, okay? So we're using these top 2 bars here. You're gonna put them on. And just like we talked about earlier, when we're twisting anything, you wanna twist it tight because we want these to stay on. And as you can see, even just using the little half pipe cleaner, it is plenty enough. We'll twist these around. Now I'm gonna show you guys when we're all finished. This is definitely something that will be optional. I like to cover the back of my wreaths just to protect it. One, we're working with pipe cleaners, and so, you know, they have little sharp edges sometimes, so that'll help protect your customer's door. And it just gives it a finished look. So I try to find placemats that match the color, you know, that I'm working with the wreath. Not always possible, but that's okay. All right, so now we're gonna go in, we're gonna put our plain. Now remember, this time we're working with the center 2 bars. Right now it's pretty easy to manipulate all of this, but we'll eventually get to the point where it's nice and full and tight, and you know, it'll be a little bit harder, but right now, not bad at all. So we have 6 sections, and we're doing 4 bundles in each. That way it's gonna be nice and full. Okay, and you can kind of move your ribbons around while you're working on it, but then I always go in afterwards and just really like get them all where I want. Because right now, as you're working on it, it's really not looking like anything. This is at the point where I keep reminding myself, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Okay, so we have our pumpkin, we have our, which is on the cheetah, we have our plain. Now we're gonna go in with our, or I guess not pumpkin, this is the checkered. So now we're gonna go in with this one here, okay? So we did our top 2 bars, center 2, this is gonna go center 2, and then we'll do a plain on the bottom 2, okay? When you're tightening your pipe cleaners, make sure you're tightening them really tight. And typically at the end, I'll go back in and tighten them even more. Okay, so we are ready to prep our sign so that we can put it on the wreath. Normally I would use just like a really thin floral wire, but I can't seem to find mine right now, and which is crazy because I have probably like 3 spools of it, but that's okay. So, you know, this sign came with the 2 holes, and it's kind of hard to see, but I had my husband drill 2 more tiny holes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just use some pipe cleaners. We're just gonna put them right in. And then I'm gonna just try to get it, you know, in half. I'm gonna give it a little twist just to make sure it's good and tight. And then I'm gonna do that all the way around. Okay, so now we've got our pipe cleaners on our sign. Okay, so we are ready to put this on the wreath. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna attach this to the wreath. We are gonna fluff our ribbons and put them where we want them, and then we'll put the pumpkins on. I'm so excited, you guys. We are almost done. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna attach our, that's my dog tip-tapping across the floor. Okay, we're gonna attach our sign. Don't worry, we are going to, once we get it where we want it to be, we'll be able to kind of like move the mesh around and whatever, our ribbons and things like that, to kind of hide some of this. Again, that's why normally I would use a floral wire, but hey, improvise, you gotta use what you got. Okay, so you're just gonna wanna pull your mesh apart a little bit, find the frame, then you're gonna attach and just kind of run it through. Okay, like so. Okay, and then you're just gonna do that. So normally what I do is I'll just pull it through, and then once I get all of them through, or I might go underneath, do like a quick little twist. And then, so do that all the way around, and then we'll come back and fix it and zhuzh it and whatnot. All right, let's go. So I'm just kind of going through and fluffing things and just making it look nice and tidy. This is around the point that I start to get really excited because it's actually looking like it's almost finished. Okay guys, so I have our sign on, as you can see, and I like mine like laid in a little bit, signs like this. Sometimes I'll put them on top, but I like them kind of in a little bit. I've got my ribbons pretty good. I'll have to go back in still once we're finished. My ribbons. Now, once I'm completely done, I hang it on my door to take a good photo of it and everything. Then I'll fix it one more time, trim any of my little strings or whatever. So, but first what I want to do is put on the pumpkins. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a pumpkin like here in the center of every one of the ribbon things. And I'm just gonna glue them in, okay? And what I'll do is I'll alternate. So, you know, we've got the cream and we have the Cheetah. So I think I'm just gonna glue them in here. No, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be like equal distance or whatever. It's just gonna add a fun little like extra dimension and a little like surprise on your front door. So we're gonna just glue these in. You can either use a hot glue gun or a glue pot. I cannot find my hot glue gun right now. Clearly, I need to get my life together. I'm just kidding. I just need to get my craft room together, which is why I'm excited that my husband is building me the big closet cabinet thing. So I am going to use my glue pot. It'll be super simple to use. Okay, so this is the glue pot that I have. It is the Sure Bonder. It's a hot mess right now, but that's okay. Okay, so I've got this Sure Bonder. I alternate between using the Gorilla Hot Glue, which is probably my favorite. And then I think what I've got in here is actually like the actual Sure Bonder brand. They had like 5-pound cases on clearance at Hobby Lobby one time, or Michael's, I think it was Hobby Lobby. And I just couldn't pass it up. I couldn't, they were on clearance for a very good deal. So, and I will tell you, since using the Sure Bonder, I haven't had any issues. I made one of those ever so popular tulip wreaths that were like all the rage earlier this year. And I just used a grapevine wreath form and the Sure Bonder glue. Some of them I did Sure Bonder, some of them I did the Gorilla Hot Glue. And just to test it out to make sure that everything was fine. I've had one on my door now for a couple of months, one of those wreaths that all I did was glue it. I didn't use anything else. And it's been fine. And my front door is a sun facing door. Like when I tell you that sometimes the door is so hot to touch, and I haven't had any issues. Nothing has melted off. None of the flowers have fallen off or anything. So this, the Surebonder glue as well as the Gorilla Hot glue are both awesome. What I like to do is just, once I glue them on, I just like to apply pressure and just give it a few minutes. I think that's part of the issue. A lot of times people don't give it the opportunity to actually like really set up before they just like keep going. It's just about patience. You just gotta take a few extra minutes. You know, I'll apply some pressure and then I'll go on to the next one and just let it finish hardening on its own. So that's it. I am going to finish this. I'm just gonna go around with the pumpkins, might put them different angles or whatever. The only thing that I'm definitely gonna do is just kind of alternate between the cream and the cheetah. Okay, so I have added all of the pumpkins on, and I just love that they're like kind of inconspicuous, you know, but then when somebody like comes up to your door, it's just that like extra special little pop of something that you're like, oh my gosh, like I thought your wreath was cute from the door and now it's like, oh my goodness. That's what you want. You want that, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? All right, so I think we are about done. What I like to do now is go in and trim. And then I like to see things from the eye of a camera lens. So I always put my wreath on the door, whatever wreath I'm making, I put it on the front door. I pull my phone up or my camera, whatever I'm using at the time. And I use that to look and see like, okay, this is how it's gonna look when I photograph it. And see like what needs to change. Are things a little off center, or you know, do I need to move a ribbon, whatever else. So it's just kind of that editing before you present your final product. So that is what we are gonna do. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna trim these, and then I'm gonna see what the back looks like. More than likely I am gonna go ahead and cover the back. If I do, then I will show you. Okay guys, so I moved to the outside just to get better lighting. Look how gorgeous that turned out. It's beautiful. You can see all the details once you get closer. You can see the little pumpkins. As you can see, we've got our edges covered here so you don't even see our pipe cleaners. Just look at that. It's beautiful. All our little spirals and our curls. Absolutely perfect for fall. Absolutely. And the cool thing is you can do this technique for any wreath. You can do it for Christmas, you can do it for Easter, you know, anything. It's just the perfect technique for a nice full wreath. We used just about 2 rolls of the 10-inch by 30-inch rolls of deco mesh. We used the ribbon. I think I did what, 12 pumpkins and the sign, and it is nice and full. Absolutely beautiful. I think I am going to cover the back, but I want to see if I can find a tan colored placemat. I just get the round placemats from the dollar store. So I'm going to see if I can find a tan one, and then I just zip tie those on. I'll do a separate video another time showing exactly how I do that. But for now, that's the finished product. Thank you for crafting with me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.